I'm walking back home from the gym again, and I'm recording the podcast on my way. I know last time I was forced to do this, but this time it's intentional. So there's a train of thought that I had earlier today. I went to work today, I came back. The thing about work today was that I didn't even see my boss at the studio. I just went, there was a shoot happening, somebody rented out the studio, so I just went to do the job that I am actually there for. And it was nice. I just love being in creative spaces. I'm actually blessed, to have the opportunity that I have with this year. I'm blessed, honestly. Like I was talking about the let me just say it, delicacy of life. But you get the context that I'm talking about, not food, but how delicate life is. Yesterday, as I was coming upon this same road. Well, let me go back to the train of thought I had. You know that it has become popular on the internet now that nobody who you see at the top right now is really there because they fought through all the odds from poverty to fame. Sorry for the jangling keys. Everybody now is tracing people's pedigree, and you can see that everybody is connected somehow. Asa Asika has a father that has been big, who is also related to somebody that has been big, who was friends with somebody that was big. It's generations of influence that we just see perpetuating itself in our own time right now. And it makes the common man feel like it's more difficult than ever. Hey, Jehovah, generator. One a bit more. And then it gives the common man the realization that it is harder than you think. Everybody that tell you they make it out of the gutter, if you investigate, they actually made it out of their parents' living room into their own house, you know? So that can be discouraging, which now leads me to this train of thought. You need to understand where you are from. In movies, when somebody was going home, there's this film that where I first got the idea from, right? I really can't remember the name, but I know it was Mike Ezuronye that was the main character. If you don't know Mike Ezuronye, Gen Z, Google him. Because the main character, his name was Leonard. His parents toiled from the village and he got the opportunity. One priest even sent him to, gathered money to give his parents to be able to send him to school. And he went to school, got a good job and what. But then when he got receipting, he got involved with cybercrime and it was an old film, so they used to go to cyber cafes to do their own scamming. Anyway, he got caught and he was supposed to be sentenced to death and all that stuff. Very touching movie, powerful story. And I saw that movie in 2005 or something. My dad, if he's listening to this, which I'm sure he will, he would probably remember that movie. But it's a movie that is ingrained in my head because of the responsibility of a first son and what you feel as you grow older, the pressure you feel as you grow older. Well, so that aside, when you are trying to make it and you know what you want out of life and what you want to achieve and for the people that you want to achieve it for, and you now come across things like this where it seems like everybody was connected, you now remember something that I remember from that movie where they told him, remember where you are from. And when I was small, I used to always interpret it in different ways. So let me not say when I was younger, I used to always interpret it in different ways when I hear that line in movies. Which I just remember where you are from. Remember that you are not a rich man's son. Is that what they're trying to tell this guy? Remember that you're the rich man's son, so don't aim too high. Is that what they're trying to tell? It even piss me off sometimes. But then, now it is remember who you have to make proud. Remember from whom you came. Remember the values that were instilled in you. Remember who you have to make proud. And that is what they meant. And my watery brain when I was young, I couldn't understand that. Because every day, now I'm going to work in a studio with somebody. All I know about him is that this is probably too noisy. When I enter my street, we'll continue this thing. Now, I'll be back like I never left. You know the drill. And just like that, I'm back like I never left. Like I have control of time. Alright, I think I'm about 2 minutes away from the house. So what was I saying? Alright, this guy, my boss, the only thing I know about him is that he's from Ilorin, perhaps. I'm not even sure about that information. Then I have his first name, and that's it. That's it. And the only thing he knows about me is my name, and that I'm a youth corper, and that's it. But then, I am in custody of his work phone, his business phone. I have access to his house. I had access to his house today, like to his studio, where his apartment is today. And how I use that opportunity and that access would tell a lot about where I'm from. And so when my father says, Chico, he said, remember where you're from. It occurs to me that however I interact with anybody that I interact with, it's a reflection of who raised me. And I know for a fact that who raised me did a fantastic job. So I'm not going to act otherwise. You know? Anybody who knows me closely knows that there was a time when I was the absolute black sheep. And I'm thankful that happened early. I know what it's like to be a disappointment. And to, live over that. Anyway, that's besides the point. But the point is, knowing where you're from and having the understanding of where you're from affect how you behave and how you interact when you meet strangers. And you can see the difference in upbringing. Certain people were never told this sentence, maybe because they never went far. For example, I went to boarding school, and there's so many trips I've taken away from home that required my father to give me advice like this. So some people might not have heard anything like this in their lives before from their parents, either because they don't think that they need to say it to them, or they just haven't gone far enough for their parents to feel they need to tell them that. There's another angle to know where you're from. You see these people that I said were influential generations before. Think about it. My father grew up in the rural part of the country. And school and work and the things that take you out into the city is what took him out into town. If not, my hometown where we go for Christmas and all that, which I call my village, is literally the ground house he grew up in. And that means I am a second generation township boy. And some of you are first generation township, which means your parents are still in the village. Some people are third, fourth generation township or city people. And everybody knows that the bigger opportunities are in the urban life. And so you have to understand your starting point, and it's actually generational. But the connections you make can expedite the process of your growth. There are people who 4 generations back were urban, and still I can surpass them with my level of ambition, with my commitment, with the connections that I make. It's possible. Because there are still people who are not trending on Twitter from coming from the bottom, but they are there. Who did Wizkid know? You get the point. So it's not impossible. And that is the thread that I'm going to pull on, not the other ones that might discourage me. Lagos has been a big city for maybe a century, and there are families that have been here for a long time. I think I've made that point. Anyway, that's that. Today was an excellent workout, I'm not going to lie. Today's workout entered my body. I feel it. I feel sexy. Yeah, I feel good. I feel energized. And I didn't eat first. Saved my food for later. I think that anticipation is what is getting to me as well. Thank you very much, guys. This has been the podcast. We're going to wait until the 10th minute. I noticed something. A lot of these podcasts ends at 9 something, and then the 10th minute is where we stop, sometimes 12. But if you're listening, I'm sorry I forgot what I said I'll put in the description of this one. The thing is that the routine is, when I come back from gym, I record, and then I just keep the recording. And then when I'm about to sleep, I schedule it. So it comes out around 5 every morning. I don't know if you guys know that this podcast comes out around 5 every morning. Anyhow, Sha, I love you guys. Bye.